Hey there, I'm Steve, and welcome to Jamson Entertainment, and welcome to the conversation. Just before I get started, there are many ways you can help. You can like and subscribe so you never miss a conversation, but most importantly, please share this video. Get the word out there as a community we can talk about all things that we love. Today on Throwback Thursday, we're looking at Gamera versus Viras. In addition to the two reoccurring cast members, you have another reoccurring cast member, Koji Fujiyama, and in addition to Toro Takasuka, sorry if I'm mispronouncing any of these names, Carl Craig, Michiko Yakagi, and Peter Williams. This one, so far, because there are, I think, 4 more movies in the original Gamera series, and I only have volume 1. So down the road, I'll get volume 2 and we'll look at those movies. But this is the smallest budget out of the Gamera films that I've seen. A fifth of the movie is simply reusing footage from the first Gamera, Gamera vs. Barugan, and Gamera vs. Gyaos. When they use footage from the first Gamera, let me preface this with, this movie is in color. Now, when they use the footage from Gamera, it's still black and white. Now, I realized back then it would have been way more difficult to colorize the black and white Gamera movie. It's just... it's just so glaring where they had to cut budget. I'm relatively certain most of the budget went into the spaceships. Yes, spaceships, because this time the threat is an alien threat. You have this spaceship looks like a bunch of beach balls that were painted to look like bumblebees, connected by ring, and for the longest time it's only a voiceover in the spaceship. You don't see anyone. You don't see how it's being piloted, nothing. You have to get halfway through the movie until you see the aliens, which are just dudes. Their whole thing is to take over Earth. They don't say to take over Earth because their planet is now garbage, but they talk about it in that way. They say, oh, Earth has this kind of an atmosphere and this kind of vegetation and so on and so forth. It would be a good place to habitate. While they're going over a plan to take over Earth, Gamera flies and attacks them, destroys one of their ships, and so they send another one. And then, I honestly can't remember if I said this was the most campy one. If I didn't, this is the most campy one. Mostly because the main characters are 2 Boy Scouts. Another thing, they don't go into explicit detail, but if you're in the Boy Scouts or have been in the Boy Scouts, you know what a jamboree is. It's just a gathering Boy Scouts from different areas, but this just seems to be Japanese Boy Scouts and American Boy Scouts. The one kid, Jim, goes back and forth between speaking Japanese and English. For the most part, he speaks Japanese. That isn't really an issue. It's just something to prepare you for when you watch this movie, among other things. Oh, God. It's not just a low budget because they recycle a lot of the films. I can't remember where I was going with this, but I'll just say that these Boy Scouts are introduced. They're 2 pranksters, and they get tied up in this whole alien versus Gamera mess. It's not until the last 15 to 20 minutes you actually see the fight between Gamera and Viras. But the movie's only an hour and 20 minutes long. You can do what I did, skip right over the footage that they show of the previous 3 films, and continue on with the story. And that will shave off about 12 minutes of time. Another layer of camp in this is the music. It could be used for any child's film. I don't know if the Gamera movies after this are also going to be very campy and just include kids as part of the plot, because Gamera still has an affinity for children. He's going to help them out. Somewhere along the line, the production company or the studio decided that Gamera is not just for general audiences, but it's for kids, because this one is definitely directed toward kids. As for a rating on these 4 films, they are so hilariously bad, I do highly recommend you get them on Blu-ray and watch them. You're going to have a blast. Those are my thoughts on Gamera vs. Viras. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and live your imagination.